friends, and welcome back to this wonderful one-off special for Hotfix we're calling Puzzle Party. We have some really cool, awesome puzzle games that we already ran with our previous host, Dangerous, behind the wheel. So again, GG's, thank you for that. But right now we are on the second half of this show. We've got Tetris Effect Connected coming up. We have Peggle Knights, but for right now, we have the awesome game called The Witness by Hat Kirby. So, Hat Kirby, take it away.
Hello, I'm Hat Kirby. I'm going to be playing The Witness. And I might as well just get started with it because I have a lot to say about it, and things are going to happen real quickly. So if everything's good, which I know it is, I'm just going to do a countdown. Okay?
We're ready to go.
Cool. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. So The Witness is a game where you draw lines through grids, like this one. At the beginning of the game, the grids are pretty simple. They're just little mazes, but they get more complicated as time goes on. And there's all these like mechanics you have to learn. And I'm not going to worry about any of that because I already have the puzzles memorized. Speedrunning this game is mostly memorization and being able to draw the lines pretty quickly. As I always say, you got to draw the good lines. So this is the tutorial we're in right now, and it is pretty short. It is almost done. There we go. That was the tutorial. I should explain what all lasers means because that's the category we're doing. Mm-hmm. So there are 11 main levels in this game, and at the end of each of them, you activate a laser that points at the top of the mountain. And if you get 7 lasers, you can go into the mountain, which is the final level, and you get the main ending. But if you get all 11 lasers, you get access to a secret area under the mountain. And that area contains a level that we call the challenge. And the purpose of all lasers is to complete the challenge. The challenge is really interesting because remember how I just said I memorized all the puzzles in this game? You can't memorize the puzzles in the challenge because they are randomly generated. That makes this category really interesting because at the end of like a 25-minute run or something, you suddenly have a pure RNG section. It's geez. Good luck.
Just your sweating intensifying right at that part.
Absolutely. You cannot believe how many like world record pace runs I've had and then gone into challenge and just completely gotten obliterated.
Oh my gosh.
But right now we're halfway through the first level, which is the symmetry level. You may have noticed that all these lines I'm drawing have like symmetrical lines being drawn as well.
So I'm seeing those darker dots, in that case, the different colored dots. Are those, I take it, required to be connected as you're making the lines?
Yeah. So the black dots have to be, all the dots have to be covered. The black dots can be covered by either line. The blue dots have to be covered by your line, and the yellow ones by the symmetrical line. And you're just supposed to figure that out. The game does not tell you.
Oh, jeez.
So it's kind of like a, 1 second. There's the laser. That's level 1 done.
Nice.
Actually, I should start explaining as I'm walking into desert right now. There's this thing in this game that we call sniping. You can basically solve any puzzle in this game from any distance as long as it's like on screen and not occluded. So there's this puzzle here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve it without walking all the way up to it. It doesn't skip anything in that case, but it lets us not have to go all the way up to it. Also, there are 8 puzzles on the surface of desert, and we just solved 1. For whatever reason, the last puzzle on the surface is just on already. You can just solve it if you know the answer. I don't know why that's the case. I also want to explain, there's a cute little skip coming up at the end of desert. There's a laser panel with 2 latches on it, and a glitch runner called Reaver found that if you position the panel off screen a little bit, you can actually get the cursor to jump past one of the latches, which is a fun little time save. So there we go. That lets you skip 3 panels, and it's basically done in every category that does desert.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, that's level 2. I'm gonna also immediately start going into the next trick that we're about to do. In this building we're gonna walk into called the mill. There are like 5 panels you have to solve, and then there's like a slow elevator ride, and then you're doing more panels upstairs, and then there's like a shortcut that lets you leave without having to go down the elevator ride again. We found out at one point that you can actually activate that shortcut without going up the elevator. You can do it while standing downstairs. But it involves sniping a panel at a ridiculous angle and clipping your cursor through through a railing. So I'm going to do this right now. Let's see if I can get it first try. Yeah, there we go. That's called stair snipe.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, the tricks, they come and go so quickly in this game. That's why I am like talking so quickly. I did another snipe right before I did stair snipe, and I didn't even have time to explain what it was. But I will talk about it now. In this next building here called the boathouse, I solved a panel through that window before I went into the mill. And the reason for that is there's this ramp here, and you're supposed to like tell the ramp to like travel across, and like you have to like stand on it, and it's like a slow little auto scroller, and it's annoying. But once you get over there, there is a puzzle that opens a shortcut door to let you leave, and we can just solve that panel. It's visible through the window. Snipes let you do a lot of really weird things. Yeah, see this door right here, that's usually closed. We're just skipping right past it.
Like, how precise are these puzzles? I mean, to be able to like hit those from that distance, like, it's just mind-blowing.
So it depends. Stair snipe is pretty precise. You have to be standing in the right place for it to not be occluded at all. But that desert snipe I did is pretty simple. And the boathouse snipe, once you like know the lineup, I think it's also pretty simple. Wow. So now I get to explain the boat. First of all, those 2 buildings I just did, that was quarry. I didn't get a laser. I actually have to come back later to get the laser. It's very annoying. Second of all, I'm on the boat now. We hate the boat. Nobody here likes the boat. It's really slow. But you have to ride the boat in order to get to Treehouse. We have tried really hard to find a way to get into Treehouse without using the boat, and it's never come through. So we do regretfully have to ride the boat. The thing about the boat is when you tell it to go somewhere, it's going to like slow down really gradually as it approaches the dock. So we do this trick called a quick stop, where we tell it to go to the dock past it, and then we kind of go like, nope, I want to go to this one. And it slows down much more quickly. And now we're entering Treehouse, which is one of my favorite levels because the puzzles are just like bam, bam, bam. Like the puzzles in Treehouse are like walkways that you go over. They extend these little bridges. And because of that, there's like very little movement in Treehouse that isn't you solving puzzles. You just get to bam, bam, bam.
You know, I know you were saying beforehand, or before we went live, that you kind of like start vibing the more you play this game. I can see why.
It's so much fun. I legitimately, I've been playing this game for 3 years, and it hasn't gotten old for me. It's just very fun to draw these lines. And there's also so many different categories you can invent. Like there's a lot of category extensions on speedrun.com for The Witness. A fun fact about these, there's this purple bridge here, and you don't have to do the last puzzle. You can just walk right over it.
Oh, well done.
And the same goes for this one as well. So the thing with Treehouse, what we're doing is there are these two orange bridges. I was walking on one of them earlier, and here's the second one. You have to like solve them in such a way that they like cross. And then you can use that to like, there's like a timer, and you have to, I'm not explaining this very well at all. You'll see in a minute. This door is on a timer, and you need to have these two bridges like in a specific orientation in order for you to be able to get into that door. While the timer's going. Yeah, see this here? That's a timer. I'm going across these two bridges, and there we go. That was the treehouse.
So cool.
Yeah, the hood on that panel is just, there's no collision on it for some reason.
Huh.
So it's kind of like a fun little thing to show off, like solving the laser panel through the hood of it.
That is, I mean, chat's honestly been popping off with just how much memorization you've put into this game, and just the snipes and everything. It's been pretty awesome to watch so far.
Oh, I really appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun too. Well, that panel right there was not agreeing with me, but yeah, this is the keep. The interesting thing about the keep is there's actually a front and a back of it, and you can do either of them in order to get to the laser. We do the front because it is significantly faster. And it's just these little hedge maze puzzles. And when we get to the top of the tower, you'll see the weirdest puzzle of the game.
Ooh.
There we go. Okay, fun thing. The next level is called Shadows. And there's a bunch of puzzles in Shadows. And you solve them, and you like open these doors, and the doors show you the solution to the final panel, and it's so involved. And you don't need to do any of that if you already know the solution to the puzzle. So we're gonna walk up to this right here. We're gonna solve it. And that was an entire laser we just did.
How would, like, do it by doing the other puzzles? You said it kind of tells you how to solve that last one, and that's how you're able to skip it? Gotcha.
Yeah, so when you solve those other puzzles, the gates that we like sniped through open, and they like reveal the solution. By the way, this is Quarry Laser here, and I am just sniping it, so I don't have to walk all the way up to it. And that was, we finished off Quarry finally. I don't know if you could tell, but it's positioned in such an annoying way. It's facing away from the rest of the island, and it's like next to desert. It's like there's not a convenient time to get it, so we literally just have to walk back and get it. We're in the town now. The town is interesting because it is sort of like it's a bunch of mechanics from other areas kind of put together. And it's situated near the start of the game. So you walk up to it and you're like, wow, I don't know what any of this is. Oh, we've got some snipes coming up. On top of this red building here, there's 5 puzzles that you need to solve. And you'd have to like make a staircase descend and go across a bridge and stuff. And we're not doing that. We're just going to solve these puzzles. That one was wrong. There we go. 4, 5. There we go.
I went full old lady Oscar and put my eyes right next to the monitor, and I couldn't see anything you were doing there. That is so impressive.
Yeah, the line in like the grid are not rendered at that distance.
Oh my goodness.
You kind of just like, you have to know the solution. And there's some like interesting quirks with the way cursor movement works that like you can kind of get a feel for. But yeah, it's definitely just like a lot of practice. This is my least favorite panel in the entire game. Okay, it did not mess me up. Sometimes the line does not want to go into the right place on that weird hexagonal thing. So I just did another quick little snipe right there. What that is is that the desert laser is kind of broken. It doesn't actually point towards the top of the mountain, but it goes past this weird mirror. So we have to solve a panel to turn the mirror so that it like redirects the desert laser up to the mountaintop. And we could just walk up to it, but it is faster to snipe it from that tower.
Gotcha. There's a comment in chat that I think sums up it for all of us watching here. I'm just sitting here and just how. Just how.
The lines are how.
It's like my pups are so impressed. Even they're barking their approval.
Doggo co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Monastery I just did. That's a pretty quick and straightforward level. The next two levels are the jungle and the bunker, and they're kind of interesting. Well, I've said every single level is interesting. That's because they are interesting to me. I could talk about this for hours. But these two levels, we kind of like intermix them because the bunker... in the bunker, you solve a bunch of puzzles and then you activate this elevator. And the elevator is slow. Like, you don't want to be waiting in that elevator. And for some reason, the elevator, like, the fourth floor of it is revealed outside. So you can kind of, like, send the elevator up and then just, like, go up to it when you can... You'll see. I'm not explaining it very well. But so what we do is we start jungle, then we do most of bunker, we start that elevator, and then we go do the rest of jungle while we're waiting for the bunker elevator to go up. The bunker is also one of my favorite areas because the panels are just really fun to solve. I could walk up to that elevator, but it's faster not to. Fun trick coming up. I've got a few puzzles to solve, but then there's a fun trick that we call wall skip. So in jungle, there's this part where you have to activate this wall that pops out of the ground, and there are puzzles on the wall for you to solve. But you are supposed to be on the wrong side of the wall when you pop it up. And you're supposed to like walk all the way around, and it's really annoying. And we don't want to do that. And it turns out that in the new version of the game, there was like a physics patch in 2017. In the current version of the game, your player acceleration is fast enough that you can just walk across the wall as it's going up. It's not really a glitch. It's just like a quirk of the physics. When I started learning the game, I was like, okay, I got to learn wall skip and then everything will be good. And that was jungle. So yeah, I just played the game at one point. It had been on my wish list for ages, and then it went on sale. And I liked the game so much that I was like, I got to see what a speedrun of this looks like. So I actually watched Fearful Ferret's GDQ run, and I saw him snipe those panels in the town. And I was like, I need to do that. I need to do that. I had never really speedrun a game before. This is really like... Also, I'm going to interrupt myself and say, this is Swamp. This is the longest level in the game, and we're just going to skip the entire thing. Because at the end of Swamp, there's this little section with the laser and a shortcut door out, and those shortcut panels are visible when you are standing in the tutorial section of Swamp. So, like, Swamp has so many puzzles. It's got long, slow auto-scrollers. It's got a lot of backtracking, and we... just skipped the entire thing. That... It's pretty far away. I think it's farther away than the town snipes, but it's only 2 puzzles. And if you know the solutions, you can do it. And that's 11 lasers now. We are heading up to the top of the mountain. Yeah, like I said, like it happens. Stuff happens pretty quickly in this run. This puzzle's really cool. Oop. As I mess it up, you have to like solve it from 3 different angles. There we go. And worst thing in the world to forget, gotta do that. That is when you have all 11 lasers available to you, that's when that little secret under the box thing becomes available, and it's so easy to forget it. Because when you get to the bottom of the mountain, there is like a door that you can't use if you haven't done that, and it's like the worst thing in the world when you get all the way down to the bottom of the mountain and you realize you forgot to do the thing. Oh. So this is the mountain. The mountain is kind of like a gauntlet where it's like, okay, you've learned some stuff, we're gonna throw it all at you. And you can see like it's doing weird stuff with it. Like this right here, the panel that spins is my like second least favorite thing in the whole game. It's so silly. It's honestly like very silly. The entirety of mountain. They're just like, we're gonna okay, like it's super normal, just a panel like lying in a bunch of garbage. I hope you have a good time. And it's like, oh yeah, you can definitely see what's on these, right? They are absolutely visible. I do want to do a quick little warning. The next 5 puzzles are kind of like flashy a little bit, like they're very rainbowy. I will try to get through them pretty quickly. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah, just in case, like flashing sensitivity or whatever, but it is over and I will not look at them again. These next panels over here, I kind of love them. I love everything in this game. These 6 panels, you solve them simultaneously. And as more of them show up, you have to put in increasingly complex solutions to be able to satisfy all of them at the same time. Like technically you could just put the final solution in every single time, but that's slower. It's slower than memorizing 6 solutions of increasing complexity. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm having a lot of fun here. So this is the mountain elevator. This is, I think Jonathan Blow just wanted to like laugh at us or something. There's no way to avoid this. It's just a very long, like, jaunt. I should know how long this elevator ride is, and I don't. This is the like, okay, I've been running for like a little while, time to like stretch my hand, like check my texts and get ready for the end. This is the bottom floor of the mountain. There's going to be a few puzzles, and then I'll be heading towards the challenge, which is that randomized section. So that'll be fun. Let's fingers crossed for good RNG. Giant floor puzzle. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to increase my FOV. Challenge is easier at a higher FOV because there's like puzzles hidden in the walls that are really hard to see at low FOV. But I usually play the rest of the game at the lowest FOV possible because it makes the puzzles look closer to you, which makes snipes easier. So there's this pillar right here. Let's see if the pillar is nice to me. The pillars in this game, literally in the pre the 2017 patch, pillars in this game were so nice. I wasn't playing at that point, but I have down patched and seen it. Pillars used to be so nice, and now they're very clunky. But so this room that we're going through here, this whole little area, this is the challenge. You have to walk back all the way backwards through it to this record player, which I'm going to solve without standing in front of it. And nice. Now it begins.
All right, let's go.
Okay, that's fine. 1, 1, 3, 2, 1 left. I have to memorize that, so I have a little code for it. 1, 1, 3, 2, 1 left. Okay, that was interesting. 1, 1, 3, 2, 1 left. Yeah, so these 4 panels here, they turn on in a random order, and they're just like different mechanics from the game. 1, 1, 3, 2, 1 left. These puzzles here, these get everybody. Out of the 3, only one of them is possible. You have to figure out which is the possible one. And I got the center one both times. That's great.
Oh, wow.
So there are walls in here that pop up, and you have to memorize that puzzle from earlier to find the correct way through this like invisible maze kind of thing. Okay, good triangles today. Good triangles. Time is going to be when I solve the second of these 2 pillars. Let's see if Dot's pillar is nice. This puzzle right here can be very mean sometimes. There we go, time. That was a good challenge. Well, I'm impressed with that.
Oh my gosh, GG's.
One last little thing. This box here, inside of that is your reward for completing the challenge. And we like to do a little thing where if you stand all the way back here, you can just double click on it and it opens. And we call that Girl Boss.
I love it.
Hooray!
Oh my gosh. That was absolutely mind-blowing. Like, chat is popping off. GG's. Oh, and I'm just going to add some fuel to the fire and say, hey, chat, did you know that this is Hat Kirby's first time appearing as a runner on GDQ? And to do that is incredible. So, well, chat, you shower him with all the praises. Where can we find you? And what are you playing?
So I have a Twitch channel. It's Hat Kirby with 2 Y's. And I don't stream very much, but I would probably be streaming this or maybe Manifold Garden because I also love that. But mostly The Witness.
Oh, nice.
I would also say there is a Discord server for Witness speedrunning. Like you can find it on speedrun.com. I think this is a great game if you like kind of aiming and memorization, I guess, because you can get like incremental gains pretty well just by like, oh, I memorized more of it. Oh, I've been practicing solving the puzzles. So highly recommend you join if this seems at all interesting. And I'll be there.
Yay! But yeah, so again, GG's Hat Kirby, amazing job playing The Witness. That was so cool. Those of you watching, sit tight, get a quick hydration break in, go give your dogs and cats and pets a good scritch if they got some. Otherwise, we will see you in a couple minutes for the next run of Puzzle Party, which is going to be Peggle Nights with Satan herself. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.